Hi, I'm Sophia Martin here with this week's episode of the Influential Women of Beverly Hills. Today's guest, we have our very own IAT, FST, and her specialty AP Bio teacher, Marla Weiss. Miss Weiss was a former student of Beverly Hills High School and the school district and decided to go to Northwestern and major in biology with an emphasis on physiology and neurobiology. Yet she decided to come back and become a teacher here at our very own school. So I have a couple questions regarding your decision to come back and become a teacher. What led you to do this?
Well, I've always enjoyed sciences, and I thought at first I'd be a doctor or a physical therapist, and when I went to school I really enjoyed those subjects, but when I was in high school my father got sick, and I spent a lot of time in hospitals and realized that maybe that life wasn't necessarily for me. Both my parents were educators, and so I enjoyed being around the schools, and I tried it and I like it, and it's fun. It's always new, something different every year, new students.
Well, I can tell you we're very happy to have you at Beverly.
Thank you.
And so did you first come to Beverly, or were you teaching at a different school before you came here?
So when I was getting my credential, I did student teaching in Los Angeles Unified, and I was very lucky. Of course, why wouldn't you want to come back to teach at Beverly Hills High School and in the district? It's a phenomenal school district.
Right.
So I applied, and I was lucky that someone went on maternity leave, and I kind of slid into that math position at the time. And for many years, that's kind of the way I hung around until a permanent opening came up, and I grabbed it. I did math for quite a while before I was able to get into some biology.
That's really cool. Was AP Bio a class that had previously been offered at the school?
Yeah, so AP Biology has been around for a long time, and my teacher was here when I came back to teach.
Oh, wow.
But he was still teaching the AP Biology, Dave Knowlton. And then I started teaching the honors biology for a while. And I really wasn't necessarily sure I wanted to do the AP Sciences, mostly because that student, I wasn't sure I really wanted to work with the highest powered student, I guess, the highly motivated. I kind of like working with the math student who is college bound, but maybe math isn't really their thing. But I did it. I guess I co-taught with him one year, and now I love it, especially because it's a 10th grade class. It used to be a senior class. Now it's a 10th grade class.
Well, I can tell you definitely that I've heard from so many students that AP Bio has totally, and just having you as a teacher has totally changed their lives.
Thank you.
You know, that's such an honor for someone to say.
Yeah.
So what is the kind of the most rewarding part of your job?
I love it when kids come back and say that something was impactful, because I think for all of us as teachers, that's really what we want. We want to make a difference in some way, hopefully in a positive way with students. It's not always the case. So it's nice when you're out there and you're talking, and all of a sudden you can like see on the kids' faces some light bulb that goes on. Or perhaps something that you taught made them go home and talk to their parents about that topic. That's always fun. But sometimes the academics isn't what affects or makes a difference in the kids. And maybe it's just the relationships you develop and the kids that, you know, maybe they're happy to come to a class and maybe not, but it's nice to have other effects than just the academic influence.
Like having your personal character affect someone, affect someone's, you know, experience in high school. And I think that you definitely, as a teacher, you really do this. I mean,
well, thanks. I hope
personally,
I
in my
do a little
experience, you know, I've been very fortunate to have you this year, and I really love being able to have, you know, a personal connection with you.
Right.
So.
I think that's what a lot of education is.
Right.
I had a mentor a few years ago in athletics who then became our principal, Carter Pasinger, and I think that was something that he said a lot, was it's really about the relationships the connections we make with people as to how they can get more motivated to succeed and be good people in society.
Well, speaking of connections, aside from school, how do you keep a healthy work-life balance?
Well, you know, I have a 5-year-old daughter, so she keeps me going a lot. I love to work out. I don't coach anymore. As you know, I used to coach volleyball. I don't do that much anymore because I have my 5-year-old Madeline at home. But I love to work out. I still keep my connections with the athletic department, and we love to travel and make the most of our days,
really great.
weekends and summers.
So, what is your life like outside of school, like your hobbies, or what do you and Madeline do?
Oh, well, let's see. We just got her a trampoline, so we play on the trampoline a lot. Very routinized, I guess would be the word, because with an elementary school kid, she's now in kindergarten, and things are very routinized. But, I pick her up from school, after school, we go home, we play, dinner, bedtime stories, and she's now starting to read. That's always fun. And then we do enjoy traveling, and so we travel to visit family, and we take her to new places. We were at Big Bear a few weeks ago for spring break. That was fun for her to see the snow.
Yeah,
it's a totally new world.
Right. Having a 5-year-old, I wouldn't know, but I would expect that it would be just so fun because, you're teaching a child, like, how to view the world, and you get to crazy. Yeah, you get to see someone growing up, and it's really exciting.
It's especially as an older mom, I think it's really fun and refreshing.
So what do you plan on doing for the long run? Do you plan on staying a teacher here, or moving on, or?
Well, I'm fortunate that as a teacher in Beverly Hills Unified, as teachers, we are able to have our children attend the schools. Right. So with Madeline only being in kindergarten, right now, at least tentatively, I plan to continue to teach so she can continue to go to schools here, and I hope that can be continued in the district for my career. But when I retire, which I also am looking to do, at this point, I don't know. I probably might even continue teaching at a private school, maybe something completely refreshing. In education, in public education, you are paid based on years. So it's hard for me to move at this time in my career because I would take a dramatic pay cut. So it's kind of more in my benefit to stay. And I think I'm still enjoying it enough to stay. And but we want to travel. Who doesn't want to travel? That's what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like traveling is a really big part of your life.
Yeah.
And where have you guys been traveling?
We've been with Madeline. Madeline's been to Israel. We had a bat mitzvah in Israel for my niece a few years ago when she was 3. Madeline went, and we've been to the Mediterranean with Madeline. But mostly we've been locally. So we've been to Big Bear. This summer we're going to Hawaii. We like to go to Hawaii because then it's easy with Madeline, and she can. We go with other families, and she has friends because she's an only child. So we do kind of like family trips, mountains. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, traveling is really great.
I know, love to travel as well. I do love to travel,
and my parents have really instilled in me that traveling is like a very big part of education because being able to tangibly see things that are in history is so important. And I love that you're
experiential.
Yeah, and I love that you're doing that with Madeline because I am so fortunate to be able to travel, and I think that it's so important.
Yeah, we talk about how we're so excited when she's like in middle school to go to the East Coast of the United States to do that whole history, because especially at that age, I think it's a great experience for kids.
Well, this is my last question for you. So what is your favorite part of our city?
Of the city of Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
I think that the city, as during the day when so many people come into work, I think, and then when people, then people leave to go to their homes, I think that the city always has a community feel to it. And I think that's really great. I know that our new mayor, Lily Bossi, does these Monday morning walks. There's always been, when she was last mayor, I always wanted to take the morning off so I could do one of those walks with her. I think that those kinds of small town, there's always a festival. They have the farmers markets are more very community-like. And so I think that even though we're surrounded by this massive city of LA and Culver City and Santa Monica that are much larger cities, we're very much of a town. And even though I don't live here, but I grew up in this community, I think that's one of the best parts about Beverly Hills is there's still that very small community feel to it.
Right, and as you said, you don't live here anymore, but I think that it's so incredible that you still are able to feel that, like the sense of home and community that is within our city, and I think that that's what's so important about Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And
I do. I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Sophia Martin, and this is this week's episode of The Influential Women of Beverly Hills.